Okay. Hello and good evening, Penoyer community. Welcome to our virtual referendum informational session. I am Mike Malusa, the Board of Education President. The Penoyer School Facilities Committee, established in 2017, met throughout the spring of 2020 to collaborate on a plan to solve urgent infrastructure challenges. Composed of parents, community members, teachers, board members, and administration, this committee reviewed various infrastructure options, financial options, and community survey data. Working together, we developed a fiscally responsible long-term plan that will allow us to improve educational environments, better maintain our building, and empower our teachers to fully implement 21st century learning for our students. At the August 12th Board of Education meeting, the board approved a resolution for a $10.9 million referendum question to be placed on the November 3rd ballot. If the referendum is successful, we will be able to fix our aging infrastructure and keep our children safe, reduce long-term maintenance costs, and provide 21st century learning environments for our students. Our superintendent, Dr. Kristen Kapta, will now begin our presentation. There will be an opportunity at the end of the presentation to engage in questions, and we hope you find this presentation informative. Kristen?
Thank you, Board President Malusa. Welcome, everyone. I'm Kristen Kapta, the superintendent of Penoyer School District 79, and I'm glad you can join us tonight for tonight's presentation. There is a question box that you can type your questions in. We will answer all questions at the end of the presentation, but if you have a question as we go ahead and type it in. Our administrative team is here with us, and if you have a specific question, they should be able to help answer that. All right. So here at Penoyer School District 79, we are a family, and I'm so proud and honored to be part of that family, as is everyone who comes here to Penoyer. Our staff, our parents, our community members collaborate to empower our students and prepare them for success. We are a one school district, and this really allows us to have that family feel. Some of our students spend 12 years of their educational career here, from the time they're 3 until they graduate 8th grade. So it's a very special place. We often say we're small but mighty. It's our size that really makes us special, allowing us to focus on each student's needs and tailor their education experience to how they learn best. We have approximately 450 students from our communities here of Harwood Heights, Norridge, and Norwood Park Township. And since our children are in our district from ages 3, most of them 3 all the way to 14, we're able to provide them with a consistent atmosphere and curriculum, helping them more comfortably focus on learning and growing. And family is just so important to us, as I mentioned. Families have close relationships with our staff, and many of our staff members are actually community members that live here in the Penoyer district. And our teachers and our faculty, I can proudly say, know every student in our building and are able to really truly tailor that education, that teaching and learning experience for them. Our parents are very involved. We have an amazing parent-teacher council that does a lot for our school, and just our whole community is involved with the children's education, both at school and at home, with many of our parents volunteering in our classrooms and all of our families attending our school events. Our school events are very well attended, and I'm just so proud to say that we have such a great partnership with our parents and our community here at Penoyer School. Technology in our modern curriculum. We've refreshed our curriculum and implemented a one-to-one technology program that ensures every child has the resources they need to learn. We have a robust technology plan and a refresh cycle that provides our students with a new device every 3 years. We have fully integrated technology into our teaching and learning, and this has just really allowed us to be prepared, especially this past March when we had to go remote. So we simply didn't replace our pencils and papers with devices. We're fully integrated technology into our classrooms and lessons. This allows our students to get the strongest possible education through a 21st century exposure. So you'll see our collaborative, innovative approach is really working. To the right is our students' performance on the Illinois Assessment for Readiness. Our students have performed significantly higher than the state average on this academic assessment. 1/3 of our students who graduate from Penoyer are in accelerated or advanced placement classes at both of our high schools, Maine South and Ridgewood. And our special education students just thrive as part of our school family, graduating alongside their peers and moving on to high school with their friends. Our teachers truly drive our success here at Penoyer. They're extremely dedicated to our district. And as you see on the graph on the right, they are some of the lowest paid teachers in our region, as well as way below the state average. Yet that doesn't stop them from giving everything they have to our students. None of our successes would be possible without our teachers, and we do everything to support their professional development to help meet the needs of our students. So we are very frugal. Because of our small size, we must be especially frugal to live up within our means. We have limited funding. We receive limited financial support from both the state and federal government, despite pursuing every possible grant. So you'll see our district finances compared to the state is far below. We spend on average 27% less per pupil than the state average and maintain the second lowest tax rate out of any of our partner districts. When thinking about our partner districts, we look at the districts that attend the two high schools, and our tax rates vary. Penoyer's tax rate is 2.601%, and within those 5 partner districts, there's a range that is between 2.34% to 4.236%. And again, Penoyer is at 2.601, the second lowest tax rate out of any of our partner districts. But we do invest our limited funding in our classrooms. Over the last 5 years, we have adjusted our staffing to reduce administrative costs and invest in our limited funding into our classrooms. And in response to COVID-19, just recently, our administration and support staff took pay freezes this year. Our fiscal responsibility has earned the district a financial recognition status by the Illinois State Board of Education for the past 5 years with nearly a perfect score. But we do have some challenges. You'll see here our pictures are of some of our rooftop units on top of the school. Our school was built in 1954, and our aging school building has had few infrastructure updates over the past 30 years. But we've really maintained our mechanical systems so well that they've lasted way beyond their life expectancy. But now replacements are needed as they're so old, we can't even get parts for some of them anymore. Just to give you an example, our roof is 27 years old with a life expectancy of between 20 and 25 years. Our rooftop units, which we have 13, are between 7 and 28 years old. With a life expectancy of 15 to 20 years. So 77% of our rooftop units are way past that life expectancy. And our plumbing, with the exception of 5 new bathrooms that we just put in and 2 brand new drinking fountains this summer, and those bathrooms were completely redone. The plumbing all the way down to below the foundation was redone. Our plumbing is anywhere between 18 and 16 years old with a life expectancy of 50 to 55 years. So our building really holds back our teachers and students. Some of our classrooms have hot, stale air, while others are very cold. And this is all season long, whether it's the summer, fall, winter, or spring. We have tested and found lead in some of our water sources, which has caused us to shut down some of our drinking fountains and sinks. And we still do, even though we've done some very large asbestos abatement projects, these last 4 to 5 years, we still do have some asbestos in the building. Our science lab is so old. It is part of the original 1954 building. We've had to shut down the sinks and gas burners. And our library, which is in our lower level, is 2 former classrooms that was converted with the middle wall being removed and with just some bookshelves put in. So our building is failing our students. We do not have ADA accessibility for our students. And as you see, our stairways are very narrow, which does not allow us to even put a lift on those stairways. This forces our special needs students to crawl or be carried up the many different flights of stairs. Our 70-year-old bathrooms are so run down, we do have students that won't use the bathroom here at school. They wait until they get home. So as our board president, Mike Malusa, talked about at the beginning, we did collaborate with our community. We do have a facilities committee that has been meeting over the years. This spring, we really worked on several different options, and we presented those options to the community in a survey in June. And working together, we developed a fiscally responsible long-term plan that will appear on this November 3rd ballot as a referendum. If this $10.9 million referendum is successful, we will be able to fix our aging infrastructure to keep our children safe, reduce long-term maintenance costs, provide 21st century learning environments for our students. So fixing our aging infrastructure and keeping our children safe is definitely our #1 priority. We'll be able to address these urgent life safety, infrastructure, and mechanical needs, leading to a safer, better maintained school. This includes investments in heating and air conditioning, roofs, floors. And when I say roofs, I do have to point out, we do have 2 roofs. There was a second, when we ran the air conditioning back in the early 90s, they ran it over the original roof and put the metal roof on top. So both roofs are in need of repair. Floors, electrical, energy efficiency, asbestos abatements, and safer locker rooms. We're also going to be able to address plumbing needs, including some bathrooms and drinking fountains, which especially are important after we have found lead in the water. This will provide healthier water for our students, safer and more accessible bathrooms, and access to drinking fountains with bottle filling stations. We also strive to provide that 21st century learning environment for our students. We'll be able to improve classrooms and create new 21st century learning spaces to include a new STEM lab and a library and media center that has a makerspace. This will allow our students to fully implement our modern curriculum and lead to increased student achievement. The community's plan is now a referendum. To meet these critical needs, this $10.9 million referendum will fund these projects with an approximate tax impact of $252 a year for 20 years for the average homeowner in the Penoyer district. And I do want to make note, this referendum money cannot be used for paying teacher administrator salaries. It can only be used for construction materials, for building and site improvement. Also, this is a 20-year bond that the district would be issuing. After 20 years, you would see that increase would come off of your taxes. So the ballot question that is going to be placed on the November 3rd election is, and you guys can read it, so this is what will appear on that November 3rd election ballot. So right now, our community has Penoyer pride. We have that pride in our students, our curriculum, our staff, but not our building. And in fact, in 2019, the spring of 2019, CNN even featured our school in a national report on crumbling infrastructure. And I'm just going to play a short clip of that for you.
To meet today's requirements.
Right now we have a student in a walker and they're able to put a belt on her and guide her up and down the stairs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she has to be assisted.
With whatever funds the school can spare, heating and cooling are prioritized.
If you ask my teachers what's the number one thing, it's the HVAC system. It's a very stagnant air.
Cosmetic fixes don't make the list.
Maybe if the bathrooms weren't so absolutely disgusting,
Yeah.
Most kids wouldn't have to hold it in the entire day just to not go into those rooms.
These are yesterday's schools, the crumbling bridge to our future.
So providing our students and community a school building they can really be proud of would benefit us all, expanding our opportunities for the children while increasing property values.
To meet today's
So we have some important dates coming up. We're holding 3 virtual community meetings, and they're all going to be the same format with the same presentation. So I know I have a couple people watching tonight who signed up for all 3. You're definitely welcome to attend them, but we will be presenting the same presentation, and they will be virtual. And those who could not attend tonight, the signups are on our website. I encourage people to sign up to get the information. We're also going to be hosting 2 in-person open houses for groups of 10 or less, and that will also be through a sign up. You can find that information on our website. They'll be on Saturday, October 17th in the morning and Tuesday, October 20th in the evening. And we'll have a chance to see the school and see some of the infrastructure needs and some of the plans that we have to make those much needed improvements. And then, of course, Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. So for more information, you please feel free to contact me. We've had parents call. I've had some great conversations with parents and community members about this upcoming referendum. And also our website is updated with this information. So with that, I will take any questions that our viewers may have. Pat, if you want to read them out.
So we do not have any questions at this time,
No questions.
but if anyone has any, feel free to submit them.
I do want to just show those who are on. Pat, are you able to see the website?
Yes.
We do have a referendum tab that has all our information. There's also a financial impact calendar or calculator where you can put your assessed home value, voting information, and other important dates that also have the sign-up links for the open houses and the other community meetings.
So Kristen, we do have a question.
Great.
The question is, how can community members help?
So that's a great question. Definitely spreading the word to your neighbors and the Penoyer community members to make sure that they're even aware that we're having this referendum. I would also say if you would like to contact me for any other further information, I can give that to you, but really just putting the word out there and encouraging parents and community members to visit our website and contact me or attend our virtual meetings or open houses if they have any questions. Thank you. Any other questions, Pat?
Nope, that was the only question we got. Oh, I see another one.
Here's one.
So this was it was a comment. It said to help, they can check out the Facebook page, the parent Facebook page, as well as Penoyer Yes.
Thank you.
Another question came in. Question is, are we planning to mail out info to everybody, people that are not a part of the school?
So the district is going to be mailing out every fall. We've started mailing out a State of the District mailing, and we will have some limited information on that will be going out to families, inviting them to our open house.
Thanks. We have another question that came in. So this question is revolving around the amount and how we got to the value of 10.9 million for the referendum.
Sure, that's a great question. So back in 2017, we had a facilities assessment done by our architects, and they were able to really go through our building, assess all of our different systems, assess our current classrooms, and we looked at several different models, the facilities committee did, on different renovation possibilities and kind of ranked the immediate needs. So we definitely ranked the needs with being our HVAC system, some of the ADA improvements, and then just some site improvements that we need to do between our bathrooms and plumbing and a couple classrooms. So with that, our architects worked along with using that facilities assessment and was able to come up with a 10.9 million, because that would be the cost of completely replacing our HVAC system, redoing our roof, and electrical plumbing throughout the building, along with a small addition that would allow us to put that elevator in, and then converting, we would be looking at possibly flip-flopping the current science lab would become the media center, and the current library would become the science lab, moving that middle school to the whole lower level. So just based on that, that's where the architects were able to come up with that figure. If the person that asked that question has more specific questions, I can definitely, I would be more than happy to speak with them and go through the different scenarios that we went through as a facilities committee.
Thank you. So we have another question. If the referendum will be successful, how soon will the project start, and what is the anticipated completion date?
That's a great question. So we, the board had decided to, because there is a cost involved with our architects to draw up the plans. They're pretty extensive plans to completely to do. So they would start those, if the referendum's successful, they would start drawing those plans on November 4th, because some of that referendum money is set aside to pay those architect fees. And we would be hopefully going out to bid probably sometime this spring, late winter, early spring, to start some of it this summer. As you know, it's very difficult to do construction projects while we have children in school. So we would be really looking at the summers to do that. And I would be hopeful that we would be able to wrap up this project by the end of summer of 2022. So it would be probably a two-phase project.
Okay, we have another question. Is this amount sufficient to be able to support Pennoyer for the duration of the bond and beyond?
So this amount would pay for those projects mentioned in the presentation. So we're not looking at adding any staff. This bond is just for those projects. So anything extra that we would be looking to add in the future, whether it be a foreign language or additional classroom renovations, we would have to look at other funding sources for that.
Yeah, just to jump on that as well, I think this referendum, this $10.9 million, will set us up for the next, I'd say 15 to 20 years. I think the question was, is what we're doing going to be sufficient to last the life of the bonds for 20 years? I say yes. I mean, it doesn't solve all the problems we have, but it will definitely make a safer environment for our children.
Definitely, because we're looking at right now the life expectancies of a roof and of those rooftop units. We're looking at anywhere between 20 and 25 years. So we'd be completely replacing those and completely redoing all of the HVAC system to include all the mechanicals. So yes, it would last through the bond. Thank you for clarifying that. Are there any other questions?
That's all the questions we have right now.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and close this meeting. As I stated before, please feel free. Oh, we have one more, I think, that just popped up.
It was a thank you.
Oh, thank you. Please feel free to reach out and email me. We can always set up a phone call or a Zoom. I'd be more than happy to walk you through the building and on one of our open houses. And if those dates don't work for you, we could find a time. We're really limiting anyone that's in the building while our students are here, but we'd be able to find a time to make that work. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone's support and attendance in tonight's meeting. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yep.